Hey guys, in this quick video, what I'm going to cover is the Redlands real estate market, what happened last month, what we can expect for this month, and then what to look forward to for the spring. My name is Dave Rupp, also known as Dr. Hot Rod the Realtor. I'm a Southern California real estate agent at Exp Realty. All my contact information is in the description below. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions real estate related whatsoever. Okay, to start off with, we all know we're in December. A lot of people from Thanksgiving all the way through to New Year's, they're just busy with the holidays. They either stop shopping for a house or they don't want people coming into their house if their house is for sale. And the last thing anybody wants to do during the holidays is pack a moving truck, right? That being said, it is normal for the market to slow down between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. Okay, so let's get into the numbers. We'll take a look at just what happened last month and sometimes the month before. So we got a little reference point, and then we'll get into what we can expect in the future once we get through all the numbers. Redlands Homes last month took an average of 25 days to find a buyer for their home. That was a little quicker than the month before. The month before was 35 days. Last month we sold 38 homes compared to the prior month we sold 45. Last month the average Redlands home sold for $592,000 and a little bit of change. That number's been dropping the last 2 months. Now that can be for one of two reasons. Either people who are buying are just wanting to buy less expensive homes or smaller homes. And the second reason could be because there's not as many high-end home sales, meaning multi-million-dollar home sales that bring up the average price. In our case here in Redlands, it was just the lack of high-end home sales. So it made our sale price look lower. Our home prices are not diminishing, they're holding very stable. The number of homes for sale in Redlands last month was 113. Previously, it was 100. So we sold more homes last month than the month before. Woohoo! And the average number of showings to get a contract on the house was 14 and a half last month. The prior month was 6. So that shows that we're showing the houses a lot more than the month before. The number of pending sales this last month, 24. The prior month, 44. Indicates activity is going down. The number of newly listed homes this last month, 46. Compared to the month before, 62. That indicates a slowing down because of the holidays, like we said at the beginning. All this data is pretty much what we'd expect as normal for this time of year in this type of market. Less homes coming on the market, more showings before we get a contract, less buyer activity, and less houses selling. But what about interest rates, you might ask? Thank you, I'm glad you asked. Mortgage rates peaked on October 19th at 8.03 and have been on a steady decline since. Now, we fluctuate up and down sometimes during the week, but as of now, December 6th, we're dropped down to 7.04. So almost a full percent, and we're at about the lowest the interest rate's been in nearly 4 months. And currently, most economists are expecting interest rates to continue dropping and to drop another percent or so in the next 3 months. That's because inflation is under control. The Fed's scaling back the measures that they take to cause inflation to stop, which usually coincides with interest rates going up to slow down inflation. Now that's not happening anymore. Everybody's expecting interest rates to settle back down somewhere in the high 5s, give or take. So being as how this is Christmas time, let's put all this information together and put a bow on it. So Redlands, California is still in a strong seller's market. Well-priced, move-in ready homes are selling rather quickly, and buyers' choices are rather limited still as well, and prices are holding strong and steady due to strong buyer demand and still a low quantity of houses available for buyers to purchase. Low inventory, we call that. Interest rates are starting to improve significantly, like we said, but even at that, the interest rate change so far has not changed buyer demand much at all. I haven't noticed the difference. So what can we expect for the rest of December and into early January? Well, between the holidays and tax time, you can expect buyer demand to stay relatively consistent as it is right now. Nothing crazy happening. And you can expect the same thing for inventory or the number of homes available. People aren't going to be rushing out to put their homes up for sale as soon as January 1st passes, because we got tax season coming up and everybody starts trying to get that stuff together. And don't forget, we're still in the middle of the rainy season. January and February is usually the most rain we get all year. So if you happen to be thinking about buying a home, the next month or two is going to be the best time probably in the next year or year and a half to do that. Competition will be at its lowest point because interest rates haven't fully dropped to motivate people. People are still busy with the holidays and tax time. Middle of winter still. Activity is still expected to be relatively slow. That's going to be your best time. However, once tax time is over, we'll have a couple months down in early next year. Interest rates assumably should be considerably lower. Then expect a flurry of buyers coming out, a flurry of sellers throwing their house on the market, and the beginning of a much busier time of real estate. This spring, this summer season is expected to be booming. As buyers come out in droves to start taking advantage of the new lower interest rates before they turn around and go back up, expect to see multiple offers, home prices starting to go up because the multiple offers are driving them up. People will be offering more than what houses are worth. People will be cutting their contingencies, their inspection periods, things of that nature, just to be able to get a deal done. It's going to be a much tougher time for a buyer to buy a house, especially if you're an FHA buyer, because sellers don't have to look at an FHA deal, which requires more inspection and more paperwork and a government appraisal, which is not always favorable for a seller. And if you happen to be in a position where you need to sell one house to buy the next one, start early. If you get your house on the market early and you price it well so that it sells early, you can be in escrow, you can have your deal almost done while you go out shopping. And when you're 5 days from closing escrow, a contingency offer might not be as scary to a seller as if you're not in escrow, or if you're just opened escrow yesterday or something to that effect. So do it early, get out there and get shopping for your next home before the craziness hits and you get blown out because you have a contingent offer or because you don't have the ability to pay $50,000 over what the house is worth. So get an early start. Again, my name is Dave Rupp, also known as Dr. Hot Rod the Realtor. All my info is in the description below.